Brutor Agent Skills Governance, the Introduction, Architecture, and Runtime. Before the two demos, let's see how a skill is actually built, hosted, and run, and where the governance sits. A three-part series. This introduction sets up the architecture. Part 1 is setup and the guardrails on the everyday run. Part 2 is the deeper controls, argument policy, quotas, and human approval. Each video stands alone. Start here for the big picture. The whole picture on one slide. A skill is a packaged unit of capability, a prompt plus optional code. In Brutor, the gateway hosts it and exposes it as a governed tool on a built-in system MCP server, the agent skills server. So every skill shows up as one tool, skill revenue report, skill customer follow-up, that an app calls over REST, or that an LLM-driven agent picks, like any other MCP tool. On the left, the caller invokes it by name. In the middle, the gateway. On the right, the code runs in a separate hardened sandbox. And between the call and the code sits every control: access, guardrails, argument policy, quota, approval. That's the shape of it. Now the two halves that matter: how a skill gets in and how a run flows. First, how a skill gets in. Two ways, both governed the same once they're in. 1. Upload a package, a SKILL.md. Its scripts and assets push straight to the gateway, which hosts and versions it. 2. Sync from GitHub. Point Brutor at a repository, and it discovers the skills, imports them, and tracks new versions as they land. Either way, the skill becomes a tool on the agent skills server. The caller never sees where it came from, only the governed tool. And how a run flows. The caller triggers the tool. Nothing executes yet. The gateway runs the chain first. Is this group allowed the skill? Do the arguments pass the input guardrails? Does the structured input satisfy the argument policy? Is there quota left? Does this one need a human's approval? Only when all of that passes does the gateway hand the skill to the runner, a container with a 5-minute scoped token, a throwaway scratch directory, and none of your database or provider credentials. The output comes back through the output guardrails. Every run is one audit row. The code is never modified. The gateway is what makes it safe to let an agent trigger it. That's the architecture. Now watch it work. Part 1 runs the golden path and shows the guardrails. Part 2 adds argument policy, quotas, and human approval. Start with Part 1 and try it yourself. The self-hosted trial runs the whole gateway on your own network.